Hannah Miller walked into the blind date with a quiet decision already made. Tonight wasn't about hope or romance or giving anyone a fair chance. Tonight was about survival, about ending things before they could begin, about protecting herself from disappointment by becoming it first. She sat in her car outside the restaurant for 10 full minutes, engine off, hands locked around the steering wheel, like it was the only thing keeping her grounded. The windows were fogged from her breathing. Another setup. Another man chosen by her mother's optimism instead of Hannah's reality. Hannah closed her eyes and told herself the same lie she always did. Just get through it. Then you can go home. Then it will be over. Being alone hadn't always scared her. Somewhere along the way, it had started to feel safer than being hopeful. She taught second grade, and every weekday she gave her heart away to children who trusted easily, who loved loudly, who cried without shame. By the time she got home, there wasn't much left. Adults were different. Adults smiled while measuring your worth. They asked questions like interviews and disappeared politely when you didn't meet expectations. Hannah was tired of auditioning for a role she wasn't sure she wanted anymore. So she had decided. Tonight, she wouldn't try. She wouldn't smile. She wouldn't soften herself or perform likability. She would be rude, messy, careless. She would make him leave so fast he wouldn't even finish his water. She checked her reflection in the rearview mirror. No makeup. Hair pulled back without care. An old sweater that had been washed too many times. Jeans with a faint stain near the knee. She looked like someone who had given up, and for once, she didn't correct it. The restaurant was dull and forgettable, the kind of place people chose when they didn't want expectations attached to the meal. Fluorescent lights, cracked booths, a menu that hadn't changed in decades. Hannah spotted him immediately. He was already seated, calm, looking at his phone, not nervous at all. That irritated her more than it should have. Ryan Cole stood when he saw her. That alone threw her off balance. Men didn't do that anymore. He looked kind in a way that felt unfair. Tall, neat, open-faced. Not arrogant. Not cold. Exactly the kind of man she didn't want to disappoint. She slid into the booth without a smile. Didn't apologize. Didn't explain. The waitress came, and Hannah ordered far too much food without looking up. Greasy food. Heavy food. The kind of order designed to embarrass. Ryan ordered simply. Steak. Water. Balanced. Reasonable. Hannah ate fast and carelessly when the food arrived. Grease on her fingers. Loud gulps of milkshake. Chewing without apology. Every movement was deliberate. Every bite was a challenge. Leave. Get uncomfortable. Go. But Ryan didn't. He ate slowly, calmly, like someone who wasn't in a rush to be anywhere else. He didn't stare, didn't judge, didn't flinch. And then, without asking, without comment, he cut a piece of his steak and placed it on her plate. That small act unraveled her. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't dramatic. It was just kind, effortless, natural, as if her presence wasn't an inconvenience, but something worth caring for. Hannah picked it up with her fingers, just to prove she didn't care. Ryan didn't react, didn't correct her, didn't withdraw. He just kept being there. She wanted to leave, wanted to escape before the confusion settled into something dangerous. But she stayed, out of stubbornness, or curiosity, or because for the first time in a long while, someone wasn't asking anything of her. He mentioned his daughter casually, like it was the most normal thing in the world. 7 years old. The word father reshaped him instantly in Hannah's mind. He wasn't here out of boredom. He wasn't filling space. He was someone's entire world. Dessert came. Apple pie. 2 forks. Hannah didn't refuse. She didn't know why. The pie tasted better than she wanted it to. The silence between them softened, turning from tension into something almost peaceful. And that scared her. She excused herself and locked herself in the bathroom, staring at her reflection under harsh lights. She saw the armor she'd worn all evening, saw the fear underneath it. She hadn't been protecting herself from him. She'd been protecting herself from hope. Kindness was dangerous because it required trust, and trust meant risk. She let her hair down, not to impress him, just to stop hiding. When she returned, the bill was paid. Ryan didn't comment, didn't rush her. When she apologized, it wasn't dramatic, just honest, and he accepted it without question. He told her about Emma, about raising her alone, about showing up not because he wanted love, but because someone he loved needed him to try. That cracked something open inside Hannah. She had walked in ready to fail. He had walked in ready to show his daughter the world was still worth believing in. They talked, really talked, about teaching, about children, about fear, about how exhausting it is to keep showing up when disappointment feels inevitable. Outside, the night air was cold and sharp, the parking lot nearly empty. Hannah stood beside her car, not ready to go. Ryan didn't ask for her number, didn't pressure. He just said he'd like to see her again, if she ever felt like trying for real. As Hannah drove home, she realized something profound. She hadn't ruined something precious. She had almost missed it. Some people don't come into your life to impress you. They come to remind you that gentleness still exists, that patience is real, that not everyone leaves. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't protecting yourself from being hurt. It's allowing yourself to be seen. If this story touched you, if it reminded you that kindness still matters and second chances are real, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. Because stories like this remind us that even when we're tired, even when we've given up, life still has a way of surprising us, if we let it.